I'm historically not that up to date on the newest trends and methods of using your computer efficiently, but after a couple of years on the Mac, a good search tool has become crucial to almost everything I do. Spotlight is good and Alfred is phenomenal, so I wanted to explore a couple of good options for capable search tools on Windows as well, because I do still keep a PC on hand for certain tasks like playing games. Let's take a basic look at a couple great ones. Even though you can enable an extended indexing in the native search in Windows, that feature has really gone downhill. It's become kind of too web-centric, prioritizing web search results over local files, to the point of sometimes not efficiently showing local files at all. And more importantly, regardless of what it shows, it's gotten really bad over the years at showing the most relevant results. It's been unreliable at best and a huge unusable pain at worst for me. At the recommendation of a good friend, the first application I tried was Everything. Everything is a popular search tool which packs some really robust settings. For a couple reasons, I think it might be a bit too much for a lot of users. It requires a fair bit of work to set up well. It indexes really quickly and searches equally fast. My only problem is that by default, it searches quite literally everything. There are a couple of toggles that you can activate right away, which excludes system folders and hidden folders. But even once that's done, the search is still almost too all-inclusive. Program files show up in searches which you'll never need to look for, along with a bunch of other folders which just seem unnecessary. And of course you can disable all of those, but I've had trouble pruning it down to the right degree of relevancy. Because Everything displays a massive number of results at a time in just one big window, it feels kind of cluttered as well. It's not really hotkey heavy, so it's not likely that you're going to mess with something accidentally, but if you want to minimize the number of results to things that make sense, you'll want to limit the archive. Everything also lets you control the way it searches, which is something I didn't dive into much at all because I can't imagine a scenario where I'd really need to change its behavior for my use case. It's just great as it is. For quick access, everything can be pinned to the taskbar and placed in the first position, and then later you can open up with the hotkey Windows and number 1, or the number corresponding to the position on the taskbar if you don't use that first spot. The second application I explored was Listery. It's a lot more like Alfred is on the Mac. It runs in the background and it brings up a simple, stylish search box, and the hotkey is customizable. Compared to Everything, it shows only a few most relevant results, and of course it also indexes and searches really quickly. Similarly to Everything and other apps, you can set excluded locations, but it's a bit less important to do because it's still only showing you the top few results. One of the things I like most about Listery is something I liked about Alfred as well on the Mac. It has web search options with customizable commands. I can simply type in the letter B and a space, and it switches from a file search to a Bing search. Yes, I use Bing as my usual search engine. I have for almost as long as it's existed. Don't roast me. It can also do that with things like IMDb, Wikipedia, YouTube. It's just a really powerful addition. Listery does also have a few settings that are hidden behind a paywall, such as dark mode, but the core functionality is completely free. And lastly, another feature I really like about Listery is that it's enabled as an extension of the Windows Explorer as well. So when you're looking through files on Windows Explorer, you can just start typing and it does a full system search. It shows up in the bottom right of the window. Both of these tools are fantastic replacements for the default Windows search. I personally prefer the style and simplicity of Listery at the expense of the colossal extra function of Everything. Up next are some tips for mastering your smartphone and taking control of your life.